So in the last class, we were discussing about teratogenicity, and I told you that teratogenicity is the ability of a drug to cause abnormalities in a fetus if that drug has been administered in a pregnant lady. Right? So now coming to the details of teratogenicity, what happens is that depending on the stage of pregnancy during which the drug or the teratogen is administered, it can produce various different types of abnormalities. Okay, so for example, let's suppose the drug has been given in between conception to 16 days. Okay. Now, usually, this stage of development or this stage of pregnancy, at this stage of pregnancy, the fetus is usually resistant to any teratogenic effect. Okay. But if affected, abortion will immediately occur. Okay, so I'll repeat once again. In the duration between conception and 16 days, usually speaking, the fetus or the embryo the zygote will be resistant to teratogenic effects of any drug. But if it is getting affected, then immediately abortion will occur. Okay. Then from 16 days, so there's a period of organogenesis. Organogenesis. So in this stage, your organs are being formed, as the name suggests. This is in between 17th day to 55th day. Okay, 50th day of gestation. Okay, uh, gestation. All of these days that I am referring to are days of gestation, days of pregnancy. Now, in this, what happens is this is kind of a vulnerable period, because what happens is if you are giving a teratogenic drug during this period of time, there will be physical abnormalities that happen. So this is a period of organogenesis, meaning the organs are being formed properly. So अगर ये period के time पे if you are giving a teratogenic drug, what will happen is those organs will not form properly. There will be proper physical abnormalities. Then the third one is fetal period. Fetal period, that is, let's suppose 56th day onwards. Okay. Now, in this, what happens is this period mainly involves growth and development. So, any teratogenic effect that is occurring, if you give any teratogenic drug, it will affect the development of the baby. Right? The first one will cause abortion. Generally, it will not affect the baby, this one, but if it does, it will cause abortion. In this one, organs will get affected and there will be physical abnormalities. इसमें development is occurring, so developmental and functional abnormalities will occur. So the organ might have already developed, but it will not work properly, something like that. Okay. Then see, as such, a general rule of thumb is avoid drugs altogether in pregnancy, especially in the first trimester. Do not give drugs unnecessarily in pregnant women. All right. Avoid them as much as possible. If you are giving as well, try to limit them. Try to not give them during the first trimester. First trimester is kind of very important. What time can avoid कीजिए? बाद में maybe you can, based on the risk and benefits, you can give. Okay, so as I was saying, in general, avoid giving drugs in pregnancy, especially in the first trimester of the period of gestation. Now, the type of malformation that will occur will mostly depend on the drug that you are giving. If a teratogenic drug is given, depending on the type of teratogen that is given, the deformation or the abnormality that will occur will be, heavily dependent on that drug. For example, you already know that if thalidomide is given, thalidomide, this will cause phocomelia, okay, sea lion syndrome. If tetracyclines are given, tetracyclines are a type of antibiotic drugs. These will cause deformed teeth in the fetus, right? And if you are giving sodium valproate, sodium valproate is a drug that is given for anxiety. It is also given for seizures. Okay? It will cause spina bifida. Now, spina bifida is a birth defect in which what will happen is the developing baby spinal cord, it will not develop properly, and you will see a portion of the spinal cord. How should I put it? you will see that there will be a bulge near the L4, L5 area, especially the the lower end of the your spinal cord. It will not be proper. If you see an image, you'll understand how spinal bifida looks. Not go into the details of what spinal bifida happens, but there is a abnormality in development of the spinal cord of the baby. Okay, it can be corrected through surgery, but that occurs if you are giving sodium valproate. Then we come to the topic of drug interactions. Now, drug interactions, essentially, these are alterations. These are alterations in the duration of time or in the magnitude of pharmacological effect. Meaning, because of the presence of one drug, the other drug is getting affected. Either its duration of action is getting, any PK parameters are getting affected, or PD parameters are getting affected. Okay. So, drug interaction में alteration in PK or PD. So pharmacokinetic or pharmacodynamic properties of the drug, parameters of the drug in the presence of another drug. Okay, so those are drug interactions. अब PD parameters generally कैसा लगते हैं? Pharmacodynamics में जो है PK parameters will essentially be your half-life is getting affected, or your the drugs absorption, liberation, distribution, or excretion. Those are getting affected. Pharmacodynamic parameters जो affect होता. Now, one example would be, let's suppose we have two drugs, drug A and drug B. Okay, and let's suppose drug A is given first, and drug A is using some receptor in your body to perform its function. Let's suppose drug A is going and giving information, or it is attaching to a receptor called X. Let's suppose you give another drug along with A, which is B, and that one is also using the same receptor. Now, what will happen is B will compete with A for X. I'll repeat once again. We are giving two drugs to the patients, okay, to a single patient. Let's suppose drug A and drug B are those two drugs, and the first drug that you give is using a certain receptor to perform its function. The second drug that you give is using the same receptor. Especially when you are giving them together, the problem is that this drug will compete with A for X. For that same position, it will compete with X. Okay? So, here पर problem क्या होता? You might stop seeing the effect of A altogether, or you might see the decrease in level of A, or you might see decrease in the effect of A. This will depend on the affinity of B for X. How attractive is B towards X? उसके basis पे you will see or you will not see the effect of A altogether, or you will see a diminished effect of it. In certain scenarios, what will happen is you will see this is an antagonistic effect, kind of an antagonistic effect. A pure antagonistic effect will be B is cancelling out the effect of A. Okay. Drug interactions with respect to pharmacodynamics, I explained to you one example where they are competing for the same receptor. Now, there are several physiological systems that can alter as well. For example, two drugs, they can be antagonistic as well. Antagonistic. इसका मतलब क्या है? You give two drugs together. These are all scenarios where you're giving the drugs together. You can avoid drug interactions by giving them at separate times, or just switching one drug out of the other. Okay, out of the two. Let's suppose drug A and drug B are antagonistic drugs, and there is a antagonism. Drug interaction is antagonism. इसका मतलब क्या रहता? A will cancel out the effect of B, and B will cancel out the effect of A. So you will not see any effect altogether. Okay. For example, let's suppose A is a drug that increases hunger by increasing HCl secretion. Example, let's suppose there is a patient who is not hungry or who is not eating properly, and you are inducing hunger in them by increasing HCl. I'm just giving you an example. Okay? So A is one such drug that is increasing HCl, whereas B is a drug that decreases acid secretion in your stomach. So they will cancel each other out. Okay, one is increasing, the other is decreasing. Those are antagonistic drugs. Right? So that is one type of interaction, antagonism or antagonistic drugs. Then we have, one second. additive effect. Now additive effect में क्या होता? Both the drugs have the same effect. Okay, let's suppose I am giving two painkillers. Okay, I am giving drug A and drug B. Both of them are painkillers. Now additive effect will be you will get 1 plus 1 is equal to 2. Double effect. Simple as it is. Additive effect will be in a scenario where you have two drugs which have the same effect in the body. They might be using different mechanisms of actions, but they are causing the same effect. Because of which, what will happen is instead of getting the effect of a single drug, you will get the effect of double drugs. That is it. That is additive effect. Then there is something called synergy. Now, that is similar to additive effect in a way, but the effect itself will be more profound. Synergism. या synergistic. Now additive drugs बोलते हैं लोगों को जो additive effect को follow करते हैं. Synergism will be followed by synergistic drugs. Now synergistic drugs are those drugs that will enhance each other's effect. Okay, these are not exactly additive. अब additive में क्या हो रहा था? एक drug plus another drug is causing double effect. They are not affecting each other's pharmacological effects. They are not changing their efficacy. In synergism, what will happen is one drug is affecting the other drug in a positive way and the other drug is affecting the previous drug in a positive way. तो इसकी वजह से क्या होता है? इनकी वजह से एनो ज्यादा अच्छा काम करते हैं, इनकी वजह से एनो ज्यादा अच्छा काम करते हैं. Plus and plus. That is essentially synergism. For example, now in certain cases, certain antibiotics, I'll not get into the details of it, but certain antibiotics, what people will do is, when they are displaying synergistic effects, what you can do is, you can decrease the dosage of both of these drugs. Because what will happen is, in this scenario, you will not get 1 plus 1 is equal to 2. You might get 1 plus 1 is equal to 3 or 4 or 5. That is synergism. Because they are enhancing each other's effect, you will see increased output more than the sum of each of them. Okay. If you sum both of their effects, you should essentially get 2. 1 plus 1 should be equal to 2. That is additive effect. But in synergism, what happens is, because of the presence of two drugs that are enhancing each other's effect, you will get more than double effect. Okay. So, इसका practical purpose या practical use कैसा रहता? In certain cases, certain antibiotics will have a synergistic effect on each other. So what people will do is, they will decrease the dose of each of them and they will give them together. Okay? The dose of A is decreased and the dose of B is decreased slightly and they are given together. You will essentially get the same effect because, synergism. अगर आप एक सिंगल देते थे तो दोनों को कंबाइन करें तो 2 आना चाहिए था ना, उससे बढ़ के इफेक्ट आता आपको सिनर्जिज्म की वजह से, with the added benefit of decreasing the dose. The advantage of decreasing the dose is that you are decreasing the chance of any side effects and adverse effects from occurring with it. Okay, so any toxic effects altogether, the chance of that occurring in a patient will decrease with synergistic drugs. That is the advantage of synergism as such. I hope you understood what is synergism. Antagonist ka example, another example would be, let's suppose someone takes morphine. Let's suppose someone is having an overdosage of morphine. Morphine ka direct antagonistic drug will be naloxone. Naloxone is also an antagonist for alcohol. Whenever someone has alcohol toxicity or someone has morphine toxicity, you can give naloxone or naltrexone and it will reverse the effect of morphine. Okay, it will compete with those drugs in the initial drug. So it will compete with morphine or it will compete with alcohol. Alcohol में और अच्छा would be especially methyl alcohol देता है, ethyl alcohol देता है. अगर ethyl alcohol toxicity है तो naloxone होता है. It will compete with that initial drug with the same receptor and it will eject the drug out of the receptor. Right? You will not see the effect of the drug. Most drugs will need a receptor through which they are displaying their effect. Because there will be one specific receptor for every drug and that drug will go and bind to the receptor and show its effect. अब अगर वो receptor में से निकाल दिए या वो receptor से compete कर गए, you are not letting the initial drug participate or give an effect to the receptor, you will not see the effect of the drug altogether. That is what is happening with antagonism. Synergism में 1 plus 1 is more than 2. This thing additive effect में 1 plus 1 is equal to 2. Okay. That is the difference between what you call additive, synergistic, and antagonistic effect. These also come under drug interactions. Now, sometimes what happens is synergism can also be harmful. synergism or additive effect. Because let's suppose you don't realize that you are giving two drugs which have a synergistic or additive effect on each other. Okay, both of them are doing the same function, or both of them are enhance each other's function. It can lead to more than normal effect, or it can lead to more than intended effect. Okay, for example, let's suppose you are giving morphine, okay, and you are combining it with another drug which is let's suppose you give it with pethidine, or you give it with methadone, or some other type of opioid analgesic. Even though you are giving them in normal doses, what will happen is, because of overdosage of opioids, the patient might have respiratory depression. Okay, that can be a serious problem. Yeah, sir. Let's suppose you are giving hypertensive to a patient, antihypertensive drug to a patient, and you give two very powerful antihypertensives to the patient. And instead of coming back to normal blood pressure, they will go to hypotension. So that is also an interaction. Without understanding what type of drugs can have an effect on each other, if you give a drug, if you give a combination of a drug, they can be harmful to the patient. So sometimes additive or synergistic effects can be harmful as well. Okay. In certain scenarios, antagonistic effects can be helpful as well, especially in case of poisoning. अगर आप एक poison, let's suppose a patient comes to you with poisoning or toxicity, and you give an antagonistic drug to that patient, you'll essentially be able to reverse the effects of the poison. That is the helpful aspect of antagonism, right? Now, coming to the site of drug interaction, where drug interaction can occur. Okay. Sites of drug interaction will be divided into two main parts. Okay. One is in vitro, the other is in vivo. Okay. If the drug interaction is occurring in a syringe before you are administering the drug, okay, this can be a physical interaction or a chemical interaction, meaning the physical properties of the drug. Let's suppose you give two drugs. This is in vitro. Okay. Up syringe mein, have you ever seen a Y syringe? ऐसे ready. Okay. It will be a combination syringe which will look something like this. So you can administer drug A in this, and you can administer drug B in this. Now, certain drugs will have in vitro reactions or in vitro interactions, because of which what will happen is, let's suppose they are interacting with each other, and there is a physical interaction between each other. Incompatibility भी बोलते हैं इसको. इसका मतलब क्या रहता है? आप B के साथ अगर A दिए, because of B the physical property of A will change, or because of A the physical property of B will change. Sometimes it can be chemical changes as well. Because of B, chemical properties of A is changing, or because of A, chemical properties of B is changing. Now, those changes can be harmful, because harmful, or they can render the drug useless as well. Sometimes what happens is, because of physical or chemical changes, the drug's PK/PD parameters will change, or the drug might not get absorbed altogether. Anyway, another example for PK parameters, because of which the effect that you are hoping to get from the drug will not occur. Let's suppose you are giving two different drugs. One is an analgesic and one is an antipyretic. One is a drug that will decrease it will decrease body temperature. The other is a drug that will decrease body pain. Okay? Analgesic is body pain. Antipyretic is body temperature. Okay? Now, if those two drugs are interacting with each other and they have physical or chemical interactions where they are changing physical or chemical interaction, the properties of each other, leading to incompatibility, they will, once they are entering into the body, first thing that can happen is they can become toxic and they can damage the person's body. Second thing that can happen is, sometimes, not always, but in the sense that it can be harmful plus another effect, or it can be harmful on some other effect. That some other effect will be that A and B will not work at all. So even though you are giving the drug B and A, they will not decrease the body temperature, they might not decrease body pain, or one or the other drug might not work properly, meaning A might not work or B might not work. So those are in vitro reactions. In vivo reactions will be those that are occurring inside the person's body. Once you have already administered the drug, because what we were seeing initially were in vivo reactions. Once you have given two drugs together in a person's body, they are interacting and they are either cancelling each other's effect out, or they are doing some problem. They are affecting each other's pharmacological properties. So those are the sites of drug interactions and types of drug interactions. Now, coming to now, you have a lot of small concepts. So the main, main thick part of your first chapter of pharmacology is done. Now, what are left are TDM, therapeutic window, therapeutic index, all of that. So we'll do what we do today. Okay, we'll do EDC and we'll do this thing, rational drug use. Now, EDC is essentially essential drug concept. Essential drug concept. There is EDC we call it. Now, EDC essentially is a list of drugs that can be used or that are safe in a patient. Okay. Now, every country will make an EDC for its own patients, and they will submit it, to WHO. Now, WHO has made a list of drugs of its own, and each and every country will make their own drugs. Okay. What are the doses that will be safe? What are the dose forms that will be safe? All of that. Consequence drugs. Now, you see a lot of times there are drugs that are FDA approved. Food and Drug Association is such a governing body in America. ठीक है तो उन लोग क्या करते हैं, they are essentially testing a drug and they are finding out whether that drug is safe in humans or not. ठीक है अपने पास वैसी एक organization रहती, you have DCGI, you have CDSCO, अलग अलग organizations है. These organizations, these are in India. Okay, these will make sure that any drugs that are used in Indian populations are safe. Okay, at that particular dosage, in that particular dose form. Maybe some drug is not suitable in a tablet form, but it is suitable in IV form. Example, or some drugs cannot be used orally, hence they are being used rectally. तो वैसा वो आप एक लिस्ट में डिफाइन कर देना, उसको एसेंशियल ड्रग कॉन्सेप्ट बोलते हैं. Now, adoption of this list has led to great coordination in healthcare development altogether. You'll be able to coordinate healthcare development all over the nation or all across the world. In the sense that if a drug is working somewhere in the world, you can attempt to try essentially to make it work in some other population. ठीक है आप तो उसको एक्सपेरिमेंटल ट्रीटमेंट के वैसा यूज कर सकते हैं, इवन दो यू नॉट नो वेदर इट विल वर्क इन योर पॉपुलेशन और नॉट. इट हैज वर्कड इन सम अदर पॉपुलेशन, सो देयर इज अ चांस दैट इट माइट वर्क इन योर पॉपुलेशन. ठीक है now there will be revisions that are done to this list every now and then. Okay, every 2 to 3 years or every 5 years the list of drugs will be revised so that any new drugs that have been discovered or that have been invented, they will be included into the list. And sometimes older drugs will be replaced by better drugs. Okay, वैसा भी रहता. Now you'll make a shorter list for community health workers. Now community health workers जो है your local healthcare administrators जो रहते हैं, ठीक है, especially at a level of a village or a level of a city, you will have community health centers, and in those community health centers you will give these lists to primary healthcare providers. ठीक है, you have different centers: primary healthcare, secondary healthcare, tertiary healthcare. Tertiary healthcare will be proper hospital. ठीक है, primary healthcare can be small clinics, especially those where you have a RMO sitting, especially in villages and all. Okay, you'll have a local doctor to which most of the village or surrounding 2-3 villages will go to. वहां पर आप एक छोटी लिस्ट लिख के दे देते हैं, so you can use these drugs for these purposes. That is the essential drug concept. ठीक है. Now, the India's first national essential drug list, it had around 300 drugs, and it was formulated in 1996. Okay. And several revisions have been done after that. Several drugs have been added, several drugs have been removed. Now, this EDC also helps us to understand and it will emphasize the need for research, especially new drug research. Because what will happen is some drug might stop working in a population after a while. Drug resistance might come, or that you might just find better drugs altogether, or these drugs are simply having so many side effects that you need to have new drugs or newer drugs that might be better than the older drug, either in dose or in PK or PD parameters, whatever it be. Okay. Constant improvement is also another goal of EDC. Right. There is rational drug use as well. We'll start rational drug use tomorrow. Okay. We have rational drug use, drug development, and therapeutic index. We'll do that tomorrow. Right. So I think if everything goes well, tomorrow your first unit should be over. Also, you will have your first test of